In the world of laptops, you cannot make a purchase decision unless you are ready to compromise. Let me explain. The three primary needs for a good laptop are portability, performance, and price. The sad truth is you cannot have all three. If you find a portable laptop on a budget, it is low on performance. If you look at a high-performance portable gaming device, then it will definitely burn a hole in your pocket. If you get a high-performance machine on a budget, then it will weigh like a desktop with a screen attached to it. And luckily, if you find all three in a laptop, I bet it's running on a hardware that is a couple of generations behind. But rarely, there comes along a laptop that claims to satisfy all three criteria. Reason being, it may be running on completely new and niche hardware that hasn't been tested in the real world. The 2020 Acer Swift 3X is one such product. For the past 2 years, Intel has been struggling to stay in the processor race, let alone compete with AMD. It has been repeated blows to Intel since AMD announced the Ryzen range of processors. They gave a better bang for the buck while being significantly power efficient. Few months back, Intel announced the Tiger Lake CPUs and the Intel Iris Xe range of integrated graphics. There was also the announcement of their own discrete GPU named Iris Xe Max. This is a 4GB graphics card made by Intel, clearly aimed at thin and light notebooks. Being their first crack at discrete GPUs, Intel has to prove its worth to the real world. But unfortunately, it flew under the radar of many as the Ryzen 5 series chips were announced shortly after and AMD was still seemed to be a better value. I was among the few who, despite the above knowledge of what's what, was still ready to take the risk and go for the Intel Xe Max GPU. It was also promising to look at the early benchmarks and the performance figures it offered. I don't know if it's the curse of 2020 or I miscalculated my risk. I went ahead and took another risk of ordering it online via Amazon. Okay, let's get into the unboxing of the 2020 Acer Swift 3X. Acer offers two 14-inch notebooks in the Swift series with the Xe Max graphics card. I went for the Intel i5 11th gen model, which came with 16GB of RAM plus 32GB Optane memory, 512GB of SSD, along with the 4GB graphics. This 14-inch notebook with all the specs weighed just 1.37 kg and was priced at 79,000 rupees. For this price, it also came with a USB-C port which was Thunderbolt C certified. Sweet deal. Unboxing was straightforward, nothing exciting to report. As usual, well packaged and delivered on time by Amazon. The contents were the laptop itself wrapped in some soft synthetic cover, the charger to go with it, and some documents that no one cares. The 45-watt charger was very light. You cannot say that for most laptops that have a 4GB discrete graphics card on board. I perceived the laptop to be very light because I am used to carrying around a 2.8 kg laptop and a 1 kg charging brick along. It was a pleasant surprise that the Safari Gold color looked far better than in pictures. The finish on the lid was not glossy, very smooth to touch and not a fingerprint magnet. The hinge was nicely accented with a bluish green panel. Call it cyan or turquoise or any other fancy term, but it did elevate the premium feel. It had an ergo lift design with the rubber pads attached to the bottom of the screen. It lifts the base a few millimeters off the table for better airflow. The design dictates the hot air to be exhausted via the vents on the top of the keyboard towards the screen. I think Acer has adopted this to accommodate the I/O ports on the sides of the laptop without having to compromise on the tapering design of the Swift series laptops. Although you cannot open this laptop with one finger, the hinge mechanism felt pretty smooth. The opening angle was limited to 120 degrees. You cannot open it flat or swivel it or twist it, which is not a deal breaker. The bezels around the screen were minimal, except for the one at the bottom. What I can never accept is manufacturers not providing a distinct on-off button. Nowadays, manufacturers are trying to cut down cost and put the on-off button as part of the keyboard layout in the place of the delete button. No matter how much dollars they save, this practice should stop. Moreover, the color, the material and the feel of these keys doesn't go well with the overall style or feel premium. You may or may not have noticed, the entire monologue of my unboxing you just heard was narrated in past tense. The reason to this is I no longer own this laptop. Let me tell you what went wrong. So after unboxing, I spent 3 hours setting up the laptop and updating the Windows. In this process, I completely overlooked the fact that the machine was totally silent from the moment I turned it on. I did not hear the Windows startup sound, heck, not even a single beep. Curious much, I played a video from YouTube and found that the speakers were not working. I tried connecting my headphones to the aux output and found even the aux out was faulty. So I raised a complaint with the Amazon technical team the same day I received the laptop. I still had my hopes high. I started to reinstall all the possible audio drivers I could find and nothing seemed to work. In that process, what I actually found was that the USB port on one of the sides did not work as well. After a couple of hours, just as I was about to call it a day, I got a message from Amazon that they have approved for a replacement of the faulty device. I still put all these setbacks behind me and pressed on awaiting for the replacement the next day. But then came the news that the replacement is not available as the supplier was out of stock. I went back and checked Amazon and saw it was available, and more shockingly, it was listed for 3,000 rupees less by the same supplier. I did inquire the same with Amazon's technical team, and they still insisted that there is a manufacturing defect and the supplier is ready to take a return and refund but not send a replacement. This all sounded a bit fishy. I lost my courage to go back and place the order again despite seeing a price drop on the same product. So folks, I did make a brave choice to go with a niche product that I thought had a great potential but ended up having a sour experience. This may be an isolated bad luck type of situation, so I neither recommend nor condemn this product to anyone. I leave it to your discretion. Let me share something to end this video on a positive note. After all my failures with the previous buy, I did go ahead and buy a new laptop that still fit my budget and mild to moderate video editing needs. In fact, I edited this video in it. It's a 14-inch laptop from Acer with 11th Gen i5 processor, 20 GB of DDR4 RAM, 2 GB NVIDIA MX 350 graphics card and weighed 1.4 kg. It was priced about 60,000 rupees. So subscribe if you don't want to miss the full review of Acer Aspire 5 coming soon. Of all the great content you could have clicked on YouTube, thank you for choosing this video. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, hit the like button once. If you did not, hit the dislike button and leave your constructive feedback and questions in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel IJO for more videos on tech, travel and other interesting life hacks. See you all soon in another video. Until then, stay safe and stay cool.